All right, greetings everybody. How y'all doing today? We're gonna get right into making a pizza dough. Some of you have already seen my pizza dough before. We used a hook. I'm not gonna use a hook this time because I'm coming to the conclusion that perhaps you don't have a KitchenAid or a hook. If you do, good thing. If you don't, we're gonna do it by hand. First things first is that always, as you know, if you've taken any classes with baking, you always need salt. Salt is like the secret to any kind of dough. And not only flavor, but the way it grows and elasticizes. So make sure you get some salt in there, okay? So we got that going. I'm just gonna mix it up a little bit, make sure it's throughout the whole flour. Make sure that's all there. Secondly is we have yeast. And everybody received yeast. You need to be at between 100, 110, maybe 105 degrees minimum for your yeast to grow. So keep that in mind when you're dealing with this yeast, that you need to keep it at a certain degrees. If it gets over 110, it may be too hot. Maybe 115 is the highest. It would say it on your packages I gave to you. But I try to be at 110 so I don't kill the yeast. And then I add honey to it. So if you look at the recipe, there's honey added to this. And the reason why is I really like the flavor of the honey in the dough itself. It just comes up with a nice flavor. I like it better than sugar. Some people put sugar. Just honey has a better flavor. Anyhow, so I set my a quarter of a cup. I think this is a quarter of a cup. Actually, this looks like a half a cup. It's almost a half a cup right here. So we have, usually you want to start with a quarter of a cup and let your yeast grow. You can see it starting to grow on the top. If you can't see it, it'll start bubbling or turning this whitish color, and then you know it's growing. Once you know that it's growing, just go ahead and pop it right into your dough mix. That, and then I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil to mine. I really like the flavor of olive oil. I'm just going to add a little bit at a time. Just a little bit right now. I think it's like 4 teaspoons or tablespoons or something of that nature. I'm going to add a little bit more of this water because it's tempered. So all this water is running around 100, 110 degrees. All right, I'm going to save a little bit because I put a little bit more from the other. I may have a little too much water in here because of the measurements, but we have more dough, more flour. So just mix it up. If you don't have a hook, so you're going to have to do this by hand, obviously. So it's basically flour, water, oil, honey, yeast, and definitely do not forget salt. I can't tell you how many people forget to salt their dough. It's so important. So it's going to come together pretty quick. And I have a bowl here already to drop this into. John? My bowl, I can drop this into a metal bowl. Thanks. There it is. I knew I had one. So I'm going to take this out now. I'm going to put it right into this table. I'm just going to knead it, right? So if you're running a hook, what your hook is doing is it's kneading the dough. And what it does is it stretches out those glutens. So if you don't do this, your dough is really not going to cook well, right? So I don't know if you could see me doing this or not, but I'm working hard. Maybe if we move our mise en place over here.
You can see it.
All right, good. And then, so you see how I'm doing this? All right. All right, and then I'll do this. And I'll make sure that you have, I should have had something stronger. I think I have something under here. Let's look and see. I do. It's just not enough. So anyway, let's just doing this. See how hard it is? I like doing this, get it nice and together, like if you had a hook. And once you get it going like this, right? See how I'm doing this? You've seen me do this before. You can hear how elastic it is sticking to my glove. So this is really looking good. I'm proud of myself. I haven't done this since the last time you guys made me do it after class one day. So here you go. I'm going to make it into a ball. All right. Then you get yourself a bowl. You can put a little oil on the bowl or not. It's up to you. And we're going to put it right on here like this. And we're going to put a wet, damp cloth over it. Right here. All right, and we're just going to let it set for about 20 minutes at the most, 15, 20 minutes. And then we're ready to bake. So when we come back, we'll show you what it looks like.